Hello everyone, welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. We're catching up with the King and Queen. We've read endlessly on the Parkles recently, but King and Queen today, unfortunately, in the story on the Queen, we are going to have to bring the Parkles in. They might be cast as the villains in this story, depending on your point of view, but for the purposes of conversation today and for this reading, Camilla, the Queen, is being cast as the villain, the wicked stepmother. Apparently, Channel 4 has made a documentary about her. It's called Camilla, Harry's Wicked Stepmother, with a question mark. And it's inspired by the nasty things he had to say about her in Spare, and also throwaway comments he made when he was out and about promoting that nasty little book that he didn't write, in which he said things like she's dangerous and a villain. And she left bodies in the street in her scramble to rehabilitate her reputation with the British press. She made deals with them and basically threw other people under the bus to improve her own reputation, the expense of everyone else. Very unpleasant and very different. I'm losing my voice today. Very different from the tone that he took talking about her years before Meghan arrived on the scene. So we can suspect that there's been some influence from Meghan in this narrative. We're going to ask about that. I'm going to have to go away and cough. But the producers did apparently reach out to, as they're described in this article, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for their contribution to this documentary. So it's something that Harry and Meghan have a hand in. It's something that was done and then delayed. They delayed broadcasting it because of the King's cancer diagnosis. They realized it would look terrible to broadcast this takedown of the Queen, basically, when the King was suffering, and not only the King but also the Princess of Wales. The royal family were really down and out and didn't need a good kicking from Channel 4. So that's the backstory. We're going to have a look at it with the Shadowland Tarot. It's a very Harry tarot deck for me as a tarot reader. I like reading on his energy with this book because I think he projects. I think he hasn't processed a lot of the nasty stuff in his subconscious and sends it outwards. That's what the shadow does, and that is of course my opinion. And let's remind you while I'm shuffling that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It is speculation. I read energy here, archetypal energy. We're dealing with the archetypal family, the British royal family, and we know that the Parkles do love their archetypes. And if they even know what archetypes are, my bit of snark there. And disclaimer in the box below, of course. So I'm going to look at it from the Queen's point of view, how she feels about what's coming her way. Apparently it's going to be broadcast soon. How she feels about Harry. Same questions for the King. How does he look forward to this documentary coming out on Channel 4? And how's he feeling about his brat of a son who is behind this? There's the Ten of Swords. Then we're going to look at Harry, his input into this documentary, his feelings about his stepmother, Meghan, her input into this documentary, her influence over Harry. Possibly, we're speculating, we're asking energetically whether she has turned him against the Queen or whether it's all his own bile and resentment and begrudgment that has led to this documentary. And then outcome, public. How's the public going to receive it? They're going to watch and think, well, we're going to have to get our rotten tomatoes out again and our eggs and fling them at her as she goes past in her carriage. Or they're going to just switch it off. And then Harry. Is Harry going to live to regret this? A miscalculation of epic proportions. He is trying to rehabilitate his relationship with the King. He is trying to insinuate himself back as a half in, half out royal. Get the glamour job, stitch the ribbon cutting in the rain. Is he going to live to regret this? As he's possibly living to regret a whole lot of things, although I don't think sorry is a word that passes easily across those rather thin and mean little lips, in my opinion, of course. It's a big, long reading, as you can see. Big, long, yellow train, bus, school bus, kind of a reading. Temperance in reverse, yeah. Very intemperate. That is extreme. That is your not listening to your better angels, instead succumbing to the devil whispering into your ear. Poison, dripping poison, drip, drip, drip. That temperance card in reverse, it's something that's ill-advised, that is going to break up the peace, because temperance card is all about peace and harmony when it's upright and doing the right thing. It's blending energy. You can't see it from here, although you can see the red boots, interestingly. But you can't see the 2 cups that are poured in the normal temperance card and Rider-Waite, which is harmonizing and blending. And we're talking here about a blended family, are we not? This is someone who's rejecting that. Very sad. It happens. It's happened in my world. And yeah, it's not a pleasant energy to have to deal with at all. So, situation we're dealing with. What are we dealing with? We are dealing with, hurt. Betrayal, real heartache, real pain. And I suspect for all involved, from the king to the queen to Harry, I don't think herself back in Montecito. I wonder if she's still in that red dress, parading in front of the mirror and repeating her glory day, her moment of glory on the red carpet. But she might feel that on behalf of Mummy Diana, whose energy she expresses, and she's possessed by that energy, haunted by that energy, she might feel that she is expressing that 3 of Swords energy on behalf of Mummy Diana. And I'm only being slightly snarky here. Unfortunately, terrifying thought, actually. And one that I am going to read on at some stage. Again, we've read on it many times. So, the Queen first. How is she feeling about this documentary coming her way? 9 of Pentacles, she doesn't care. She's been through much worse. She's literally had stuff chucked at her. She's had to hide away at home for years and years. She's been the most loathed woman in Britain. She doesn't care. And good for her. I'm very happy to see that card. I'm fine. I'm independent. I don't care about what anyone thinks about me. I'm living my best life. I've got my lovely home in the English countryside. I've got my lovely family. I've got my lovely book clubs and my podcast and all my charities that I like doing. I've got everything is wonderful. Thank you very much. How does she feel about the has-been? Is she feeling charitable towards him? Or could she wring his neck? There it is, the devil. Or she could wring his neck. But I think there's another neck she would wring first with that devil energy. We know who the devil very often symbolizes in these royal readings. She really thinks that he is in, thrall to his worst instincts, however they are represented and whoever they are represented by, because the devil is all about the nasty stuff, the obsession, the rage, the resentment, the bitterness, the jealousy, the lies, the betrayals, the drugging, the addiction, all of that stuff is in there. She knows where it's coming from. She does not like it. She sees it for what it is. She sees the absolute worst in him, and also, I would say, old red shoes as well. That's my opinion, of course. So, the king. How is the king feeling about this? He's off to Australia. Are they going to broadcast it while he's in Australia just to ruin his tour of Australia? 9 of Wands in reverse. He feels like he can't do anything about this. He can't protect her. He can't protect the royal family. Beaten down. It's the card of damage. The 9 of Wands. How many more blows can you withstand before you collapse? Upright, it's got all the boundaries, it's protected, it's got gatekeepers, it's you can somehow withstand the onslaught it's in reverse. He feels that he is very damaged by this. It's all his fault. I'm sure that there is mea culpa going on, and he feels really defenseless, really vulnerable, exhausted by this. How much more does he have to endure? Does the Queen have to endure? Does the royal family have to endure from this devil over there? Let's see how he feels about darling boy, as now that this is about to burst upon the unsuspecting public. Darling boy has ruined his happiness. And we heard this story, I think Harry wrote about it in Spare, after Prince Philip's funeral, when they had a quiet time together, the King and Prince William and Prince Harry. And the King begged them not to make his last years a misery by fighting. And the Ten of Cups in reverse is making his last years a misery. He's very emotional about this. He's very upset about it. Understandably, I would be too. The one who is sanguine about it is Camilla, because as I say, she's been through much worse. But the King, really, he feels that this could just be the final blow for him personally, and also for, not for his relationship with the Queen, but just his own personal, his relationship with Harry, his relationship with the public. It could just be really devastating, and he doesn't have the energy to fight back, unfortunately. And Ten of Cups in reverse, feelings about Harry. Harry has ruined his life. He's taken all his happiness away. His moment that should have been his best moment, Camilla by his side, married her, she's crowned queen next to him. Who would have thought that that would ever happen? In going into his golden period, the job that he's waited all those years for, and Harry goes and spoils it all. The black sheep, the shadow in the royal family. Let us look at the shadow now, because the shadow always falls somewhere, doesn't it? And so let's see what input Harry has had into this documentary. Allegedly, got the Ten of Wands, and it's Ten of Wands in reverse. And it's also this idea that she just really made his life so difficult. She ruined everything. She was the burden that darkened his life, upset his mother. We're going back to the past, the tired and tedious old past, the stale old past. We're all sick of it. Nobody cares anymore. It's decades ago. But he's going to whinge on about that, and how she was the shadow over his life, and she made his life a misery. How does he feel towards the Queen currently? Six of Cups in reverse. You ruined my life. You ruined my childhood. You blighted my childhood. You cast a shadow over everything. Now all my memories are tainted. My memories of mummy, which I don't actually have, are all tainted by you. You made mummy cry. All of that stuff. And yes, I'm being snarky and cruel and mean. And I know that there was suffering in that family. I know it, I know it, I know it. But at some stage you have to let it go. For your own good. Really. Meghan and her input, because the producers have told us that they reached out to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to contribute to this program. So her input. King of Pentacles in reverse. She might portray the situation as really destabilizing Harry, because that's his energy, the King of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. This is what stopped him from growing up to be the man he should have been. It messed his whole life up. It stopped him from developing and maturing. I don't think she will express it in that way. We hope not, for his sake. But some insinuation that all his troubles in his early development and finding his way, until she came along and told him and showed him the way, and the way was Hollywood and the way was ditching the royal family. Until then he was lost, and he didn't know who he was, and he didn't have a purpose, and he was unstable and erratic, and all the things that the King of Pentacles represents in reverse. So a lot of blame is going to be piled onto Camilla for destabilizing Harry. In my opinion, again, allegedly. Let us see what influence she had or has over Harry in this regard. His view of Queen Camilla, which has changed a lot. We've got the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. It's quite an interesting card because it's a money card. It's a work card. It's, when it's in reverse, it's undermining its, I'm not going to bother with doing that anymore. Upright, this is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're good at doing. You're good at roiling. You're good at cutting ribbons in the rain. People like you. This is how you earn your keep. It's quite an effortless way of earning your keep, many people would think, but it's in reverse. So her influence on Harry is to get him to chuck all of that and leave, throw it all away. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. My grifter card, of course, as well, just by the way. There's something else in there that it could be, well, Camilla came along to just kind of hang on to the royal family and live an easy life, on easy street at the expense of the British taxpayer. And so it's very materialistic. Her influence is Pentacles, is money. Who gets what? Somehow that King of Pentacles in reverse has been sidelined. Who should have been more important? That's something that's in that card as well that I didn't express before, but it's there. And this notion that there's being a hanger-on financially, that's not deserved. And interesting. So how's this thing going to be received when it is broadcast eventually? I assume while the king is in Australia. I mean, why not? How's the public going to view it? And Knight of Pentacles in reverse, they're going to think very poorly of Harry. That's his energy. He's reduced. Meghan sees him as King of Pentacles in reverse. The public's going to see him as Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which is the prince who fell on his head, fell off the horse, landed on his head. The prince who's lost his way, who has chosen the wrong path, a bit slow, so slow that in fact he stopped moving altogether, with the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, on the wrong track, on the wrong path. A bit dim, doesn't really see things the way he should see things, should have been upright Knight of Pentacles on that solid steady path, serving the country as a working royal. So it's all about Harry and Harry looking bad. I'm delighted at a personal level to get that energy in this reading. Absolutely delighted. How's it going to how's Harry going to feel? Is he going to think, job well done, and on to the next takedown of a member of the royal family? Or is he going to regret it? Is he capable of regretting anything? Ooh, the Tower. It's in reverse, but I don't think it's a good way of being in reverse. It could be scrambling to try and fix the mess that he's made with this documentary, or they both have made with this documentary. He is already trying to blame the American press for leading him astray. I've seen lately in the past few days, but the American agents, they all led him astray. It wasn't his fault, not the press, sorry. But this tower tells me that it could be a devastating mistake for him. And the devastating part of it is because there might be no forgiveness finally from anyone in the royal family for this, or from the public. What have you done, you idiot? Why do you keep trying to destroy them? The only person you are destroying is yourself. And there might be no going back after this, interestingly. A real miscalculation. That the doors might be closed to him indefinitely, permanently, in the UK after this, and he might have to make his home somewhere else. Botswana, Lesotho. There's not much in Lesotho, I have to tell you. Somewhere else, because this is calamitous, the Tower. So we've got some nasty cards here, the big ones. The Devil has shown up, the Tower has shown up, and the Temperance card has shown up in reverse, which is another devil. So we've got two devils on this tarot table, and we've got Harry in his fall here as King of Pentacles in reverse and reduced to Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The one this is all about is the one who is fine. But we are talking Three of Swords, we're talking Six of Cups, Ten of Cups, both in reverse. Pain, old pain that someone just can't let go of and might be the ruin of that someone. Interestingly, a life lesson. We do this tarot for life lessons, and there is one on the tarot table today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.